श्री सुजीत कुमार।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय। महोदय, मैं अपनी पार्टी बीजू जनता दल की तरफ से ये 3 ऐतिहासिक कानूनों के समर्थन में खड़ा हूँ। महोदय, मेरी पार्टी बीजू जनता दल हमेशा कोई भी कानून जनहित में हो या देश हित में हो, सरकार के साथ हमेशा खड़ी रहती है, चाहे वो 370 धारा को हटाने की बात हो, चाहे ट्रिपल तलाक की बात हो, या चाहे ये 3 कानून हो। और व्यक्तिगत तौर से महोदय, I applaud these 3 bills because these are in the interest of Mother India. They uphold the integrity, unity and sovereignty of our country. Hence, I personally support these 3 bills. और महोदय, मैं अपने आप को खुशनसीब मानता हूँ क्योंकि ये बिल पे मुझे बोलने का मौका मिला है, क्योंकि मैं एक अधिवक्ता भी हूँ और मैं स्थायी समिति का सदस्य भी हूँ जिसको ये बिल्स रेफर किए गए थे और जिसके चेयरमैन ब्रिजलाल जी थे, जिन्होंने अभी अपने अभिभाषण में विस्तृत रूप से बताया। और मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा गृह मंत्री जी का कि बहुत सारे प्रोविजंस, बहुत सारे सजेशंस जो समिति ने दिया था उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट किया गया इस बिल्स में। सर, Brijlal ji has already spoken and gone into details about the technical provisions for the bill. I will articulate why I support this bill, giving 5 reasons. Sir, first and foremost, sir, the essence of these 3 bills are justice, equality, and neutrality. Justice, equality, and neutrality. Sir, these are the 3 foundation pillars of our Constitution. Hence, because of the constitutional norms, because we all believe in the Constitution of the country, which Honorable Prime Minister said is the Bible of our nation, the Gita of our nation. Hence, sir, I support this 3 bill because this is a tribute to the founding fathers of our Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, Sardar Patel ji. Sir, second reason why I support this bill is because this is a great step in moving away from the colonial hangover. Sir, there were 475 places in the 3 acts, IPC, CRPC, and Evidence Act, Indian Evidence Act. There were 475 mentions of colonial references: Her Majesty, Privy Council, Jury and Barrister, London Gazette. So, sir, at one stroke, these 3 bills are completely doing away with all the vestiges and signs of colonial hangover. Sir, secondly, sir, Indian Penal Code 1860, CRPC, Indian Evidence Act 1872, though they had Indians in their name, they have Indian in their names, but sir, there was nothing Indian about them. The soul was certainly not Indian. The names might have Indian in them, but the soul was of Great Britain. So, sir, because the soul was not Indian, there was no trace of Indian culture, Indian tradition, Indian values. So, sir, through these bills, हम लोग सर इसमें भारत की खुशबू को लाने की कोशिश की है सर. Sir, the 3 criminal acts that we have, IPC, CRPC, Indian Evidence Act, they were meant to perpetuate the colonial rule. They were meant to subjugate the Indian subjects into slavery and brutality, sir. So they were never meant to give justice to Indians. They were never meant for the good of Indians. So, sir, these 3 bills, which will replace those 3 colonial legislations, will provide justice to our countrymen, will be for the betterment of our fellow citizens. Sir, in the IPC, CRPC, in IPC, you had, sir, offences against the state, offences against public servant, preceding, sir, heinous crimes like rape and murder. That was, sir, the need of the colonial masters because they gave precedence to offences against them over offences against an Indian. But in this, sir, BNS, Bharat Nyaya Sanhita, offences against crime against women and children have been given precedence, particularly crime against women and children. Sir, Section 124A, sedition, has been done away with. Sir, राजद्रोह को हटा के देशद्रोह को सर लाया गया है. ये बहुत बड़ा परिवर्तन है सर. Sir, governments will come and go. Governments will come and go, sir, but nation will remain for eternity. Nation first. That has been the philosophy of removing sedition. And in place of sedition, sir, we have incorporated a clause which upholds the unity and integrity of our country. Sir, by removing sedition from our statute book 124A, sir, today we pay tribute to hundreds and thousands of our freedom fighters who went to jail, who were sent to gallows because of the misuse of 124A by the colonial rule. rulers. Sir, the third reason why I support this bill is because, sir, this is a great example of modernization of our legal system. Sir, our criminal justice system was obsolete, archaic, we all know, sir. It was crying to be reformed. Sir, there was a desperate need to overhaul our laws, to modernize our legal framework, because, sir, the society has evolved. 1860, 1872, 160, 170 years old laws, sir. Society has evolved, social values have evolved. Technology has become so prevalent. Sir, today we have technology in pretty much every walk of life, be it education, health, agriculture, but not in the legal fraternity, sir. So there was a need to bring in technology to modernize our legal framework, and these three bills have done that. Sir, already Bijlal has spoken about many of the provisions where technology will be incorporated. Sir, digitization of the criminal justice process. Sir, the definition of document has been expanded to include electronic digital records. Digital electronic records have been made primary evidence under the Sanhita Sakshya bill. Sir, now inquiry trial can be conducted digitally. Electronic recording of a statement by the police is also permissible, sir, during investigation. Sir, the provision of EFIR and zero FIR have also been incorporated, sir. Sir, women will be the biggest beneficiary of this. Sir, we all know that women find it very uncomfortable to go to a police station to register an FIR. That's the reality, sir. But now they can go for an EFIR. They don't have to go to the police station. They can file zero FIR. They can file FIR anywhere else. Wherever they are comfortable filing an FIR, not necessarily in the police station under the jurisdiction of which the crime has been committed, and FIR can be filed. So, sir, this will eliminate the need to travel to the police station, particularly greatly aiding our women, sir. And, sir, the new laws also prioritizes the usage of forensic science in crime investigation. Sir, for any crime, for any offense where the punishment is over 7 years, it has now become mandatory for a forensic expert to be present at the scene of crime during the investigation. Sir, this integration of technology and digital forensic science, sir, will allow the police to, sir, get critical information and help in increasing our conviction rate. Today, sir, our conviction rate is one of the lowest in the world. And, sir, government has often spoken about increasing this conviction rate to about 90%. So, sir, I strongly feel that this bill will certainly help in increasing the conviction rate. Sir, videography is now made compulsory at the time of search and seizure of any property. Again, this will help in protecting the fundamental right of the citizen. Sir, organized crime, clause 111, petty organized crime, clause 112, great additions to the IPC, sir, to the BNS. Sir, terrorism. Sir, previously I'm shocked to state that there was no mention of terrorism. Sir, we talk of zero tolerance towards terrorism. Sir, when we talk of zero tolerance towards terrorism, but we do not have a section in IPC where terrorism could be punished, how, sir, are we going to tackle terrorism, particularly cross-border terrorism, when we are surrounded by a very, very hostile neighbor? Sir, crime against women and children have been given stringent punishment under this new provision. For gang rape, 20 years of imprisonment has been prescribed, and for gang rape of a minor, death penalty has been prescribed, sir. Sir, this will certainly deter heinous crime against our women and children. Sir, the fourth reason why I support this bill is because it will help in the timely dispensation of justice. Sir, we all know today our courts are pretty much choked up. We have close to 70,000 cases pending in the Supreme Court, close to 60 lakh cases pending on the High Court, over 4.23 crores cases pending in our trial court, district court, sir. Sir, it is often said, justice delayed is justice denied. Sir, there are numerous movie dialogues, sir, on this aspect. I did not go into details, sir. You have been one of the finest lawyers of the country, you understand. Sir, now this legal provisions will have strict timeline for the state, for the investigating agencies, and also for the judiciary. Sir, this is why I believe that this will result in timely dispensation of justice. Trial in absentia is another great addition. Sir, this will help in bringing the fugitives, particularly the economic offenders who commit crime in our country and then they abscond. They will be certainly deterred. And final reason, sir, why I support this bill is because of the reformative aspect instead of the punitive aspect. Sir, the name itself, it was called Indian Penal Code, but now it is the Bharat Nyaya Sanhita. So, sir, from punitive to justice. Sir, I would like to, refer to Swami Vivekananda, sir, who is one of the greatest gifts to mankind from our land, one of the greatest philosophers that the world has ever seen. And he often spoke of the fact that each soul is potentially divine. Each soul is potentially divine. That was, sir, Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. Sir, this underscores the intrinsic value of every person. This underscores the reformative, the rehabilitative potential of every person. And this is what these three bills speak about, sir. Sir, community service. Instead of sending a person to jail for minor offences, community service also has been prescribed as a form of punishment. This will, sir, not only decongest our prisons, but also bring in some kind of social reformation, some kind of social aspect to our criminal justice system. Great addition, sir. For the first time, community service has been prescribed as a form of punishment for petty offences, and I greatly welcome this. Sir, I would like to talk of Section 309 of IPC, punishment for attempt to commit suicide. Sir, a person takes the extreme step of committing suicide only when she or he is so mentally depressed that she or he finds no hope in living, in surviving. And sir, when that person fails in committing that crime, meaning fails in committing suicide, we then go on to punish that person. So what kind of justice was this? I'm surprised that even after 75 years, this section was there in our IPC, in our statute book. Thankfully, I must really compliment the government, sir, that they have now done away with Section 309, attempt to commit suicide. This was already, sir, diluted through the Mental Health Care Act of 2017, but now it's also not there in our criminal statute book. Highly commendable, sir. Sir, I have a couple of suggestions, sir. Sir, one is that, sir, the Law Commission has time and again recommended that the ratio between judges and population in our country should be 50 per million. But today, the judges to population ratio in our country is only 19, which is one of the lowest in the world. So I request the government, ma'am, through you, that they should seriously look into it and increase the number of judges, particularly at the trial court, in the trial courts, and also increase the number of policemen. Today, the global standard is about 220, 225 our prisons. So, Sopati Murmu also made an emotional appeal in this aspect while addressing the National Law Day celebration. And she lamented that many in India end up being in jail for years for the slightest of crimes, or even when wrongly framed. They have little recourse. This needs to be fixed. This is, Madam President. So I really urge the government, I strongly urge the government that they will look into this issue of UTPs, issue of under-trial prisoners crowding our prisons. Not only are they crowding our prisons, it's a violation of basic fundamental right. Every person has a right to be free unless proven guilty. So this is something which I would love the government to look into. And the third suggestion I have, ma'am, is regarding the multiple FIRs. Ma'am, recently we had many cases. We also had a recent case of Miss Nupur Sharma. She had to face, I'm not getting into the merit of what she said and whether there should have been multiple FIRs in her names, or there should have been an FIR in her name. But the fact that she had to face multiple FIRs in different parts of the country, that itself is so problematic, ma'am. This is why I suggest that there should be provision in the statute book that there cannot be any provision of multiple FIR, because not only is it an unnecessary harassment of the accused, but also it delays the criminal justice system. And my last suggestion, ma'am, is regarding the gender neutrality. There have been a lot of positive aspects in the three bills in respect of making them gender neutral as opposed to the old ones. But now that 377 is no longer there in the statute book, and 375, which IPC 375, which is the offense of rape, is not gender neutral. So there is no way a person could be punished for raping a man. And we know, ma'am, that it happens. It happens in our prisons, it happens in our hostels, and it happens in other places. Men are routinely raped, but there is no provision in our statute book to punish for that rape of a man. We have thankfully, there are provisions relating to the kidnapping of children, trafficking. These have been made gender neutral in the BNS, but not the offense of rape. Law Commission in 2000 and the Justice Verma Commission in 2013 had also recommended that offense of rape should be gender neutral, but I'm sad that this has not been done in BNS. I hope this will be taken care of. Ma'am, I would like to finally talk briefly, while I'm on the subject of criminal justice system, I would like to briefly talk about the judicial overreach or the judicial encroaching on the turf of the parliament, which is so dangerous for our parliamentary democracy. Ma'am, separation of power is an essential feature of our constitution. Article 50 talks of separation of power. The three organs of the government have to work in their own respective domain. But, ma'am, this fine balance between judiciary and the legislature and the executive is being routinely, I must say routinely being eroded and trampled by the judiciary in the name of fundamental rights, in the name of separation, in the name of independence of judiciary. There is unnecessary interference time and again by the courts in administrative matters, ma'am. This is destroying the spirit of our constitution and is very, very dangerous for our democracy. Ma'am, the judiciary wants to reform every aspect of the government but itself. It wants to reform every aspect of the government, but it doesn't want to reform itself. This is why we have such a large pendency of cases which the judiciary has not taken note of. Ma'am, the parliament and the state assemblies, they reflect the will of the people of India, the sovereign will of the people of India. And it is the duty, the mandate, and the responsibility of the parliament and the state assemblies to make laws. The judiciary, at best, can interpret those laws. But the judiciary has taken unto itself the task of making laws. So, ma'am, the classic example of the National Judicial Accountability Commission of 2000, the Act, NJSC Act of 2014, unanimously it was passed by both the houses of parliament. 2/3 of the states ratified it. 16 states, ma'am, ratified this act, but it was struck down by the Supreme Court of India because the Supreme Court deemed that this was interference into the judicial appointment, thereby violating the basic text of the Constitution, which is independence of judiciary. Ma'am, and here I would like to quote former Finance Minister, late Sri Arun Jaitley, who had called this the tyranny of the unelected. He had called, and in his words, I quote, "If the elected are undermined, democracy itself would be in danger." So, ma'am, I'll end by supporting the three bills. I think they are extremely timely. They are in the interest of the nation. And also, I have already stated my concern about judicial overreach, judicial encroachment into the working of the executive and the legislature. And I hope that good sense will prevail and that the separation of power, which is there in Article 50 of the Constitution, will be respected by all the three organs of the government, particularly by the judiciary. Thank you.